Hello, welcome to the Sweaty Startup. Today we're going to talk about the methods you should use to find a name for your business and to find an available domain. So this is very difficult. Most web domains are taken. I'm going to tell you about my method of what I have found to be the best way to find an available domain and name your company. So hopefully you have a dual screen to work with, meaning a laptop screen and a secondary monitor so you can open two tabs or two browsers at once. So on one screen, go to synonym.com, and on the other screen, open ipage.com or another hosting site. So avoid GoDaddy because I heard rumors that they buy domains that have been searched for and they sell them at a premium. I'm not sure if that's true or not, so take that with a grain of salt. But the method here is simple. We're going to use iPage to check availability while using synonym.com to brainstorm words to include in your domain name and thus your business name. So if you're a storage company, you're going to try to have the word storage in your domain. If you're a lawn care company, you're going to try to have the word lawn or something similar in your domain. You get the point there. The other word is the important word. The other word is either made up or random or signifies something about your business. Okay, if you're a storage company, you want it to signify strength. You know, if you are a pet care company, you want it to signify caring. If you are a high-end luxury unpacking service, you want it to signify luxury or meticulous. You know, strong, quick, reliable, all the other different words that you can use. So get creative here and consider using words that are popular in other languages. If they're easy to pronounce and remember, it's fair game. So consider using animal names or names of random objects like Rocket Mortgage or Panda Docs. Keep your domain less than 15 characters. The shorter, the better. Try to get .com. I'm not sure about some of these other extensions. I would avoid .co and .biz and so on unless you absolutely have to. Do not use the word cheap or anything similar. You don't want to compete on price. We're going to be competing on service and speed later, so don't limit yourself with cheap or discount or something like that in your business name. So don't limit your business also with a word that is too specialized unless you are already sure that that's the niche that you're going to go after. So if you're an automobile mechanic, don't put car in your domain unless you're sure that you're only going to work on cars. Don't limit yourself later on. We did this with Storage Squad. Our first name was Campus Packing. And yeah, that's applicable to student storage, pickup and delivery, but it would never have allowed us to spin off that brand and do self-storage as well down the road. So we're really glad we picked the word Storage Squad. So don't limit your business with your name. Don't use your own name, like your last name, unless it's easy to remember, it rolls off the tongue, or you plan to use that to your advantage in some way with a mom and pop feel. I wouldn't use your area code. I wouldn't use your city name, just in case you end up expanding. That complicates things. So in an ideal world, your name is going to have three things on it. So it's going to be short, catchy, and very easy to recall. That's one. Short, catchy, very easy to remember. And there's some tests you can do to test for this. We'll go over that shortly. So number two, it's going to exude the characteristics that your company is going to stand for and some of the ways that you're going to differentiate yourself. And number three, it's not going to limit your pivoting, your expansions, within that industry, of course. So those are the three things that you're going to want to do. Something to keep in mind. Family and friends will be able to help narrow down your list, but they will not have the heart to tell you if they think your name is weak overall. Get some stranger feedback. Stranger feedback on an online forum is super valuable. Go on Reddit or another business forum that is in your area and ask them what people really think. Ask them to tear it apart. So people can be brutal on the internet. Take it with a grain of salt, of course, but you'll really be able to get some solid advice if you do that. Another method that I love is A/B testing on Google AdWords. So there's a ton of value in using actual empirical data to narrow down your options by running an A/B test. This method sounds complicated, it sounds expensive, but it's not. It's really easy. Use your Gmail account, set up AdWords. You can set a $50 budget. You can set a $20 budget if you want. Just make sure it's enough to get an accurate decision. There's enough data out there. There's enough variations or data coming in that you can make a decision on which name is more efficient. So there's tons of good articles explaining on how to use Google Ad Variation Tool. There are also hundreds of YouTube videos. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to run two ads. If you have two names, if you have three names that you're considering, run three. Make it exactly the same ad. Make it exactly the same copyright inside the ad. except for the business name and the domain. So get the ad in front of the same number of people based on popular search terms that you're going after, and start to collect the data. Start to collect the click-through rate. The click-through rate that's the highest signifies the most efficient name, and that's really, really important. That will be able to help you really decide what's important and what's not. So another part of this is don't be afraid to rebrand. Okay, if you've started and you're small and your last name is in your business, or you've been operating a couple years, don't be afraid to change the name of your company with the goal of building a successful business long term. So another thing to think about is it's not the end all here. The name of the business is not the end all, but it is very important. So put some serious energy into this. Put some thought behind it. Work to get the best name. So don't be afraid to rebrand, but don't beat yourself up over the name if you can't. Use this method, find the best name that's available out there, and dive in.